Greetings friends, I am Obsidian. Earlier on, Dafuqboom released episode 76 part 1 of Skibidi Toilet, which really did prove to be quite an action-packed and exciting episode, and it really showed us that the Alliance and the toilets work well together when they're fighting side by side in combat against the invasion of the Astro toilets. But it also seems like not all Alliance members or toilets are on board with the idea of a team-up, as we see in this episode, and they end up getting confused. But before we get into today's video, make sure you subscribe to me so you don't miss any future analysis and theory videos. Also, give this video a like, as it will help me out. It will also let me know that you appreciate what I do, and it helps me continue to bring you more exciting analysis and theory videos. Let's begin. The scene begins where we see a really epic scene of a Skibidi fleet fighting. The POV large cameraman pans to the right to let us see the Astro toilet the Skibidi toilets are fighting. Yes, that is an X-Wing Astro toilet. I'm pretty sure their canonical names are the Astro Interceptors. Just when the X-Wing Astro toilet is firing laser shots back, a barrel-acid Skibidi toilet that looks like Superman and/or MatPat appears and takes the Astro toilet down. But if you notice, bro probably is really Superman, which makes this even funnier. I guess this could serve as an innuendo that the toilets really are joining the side of good to fight against the real threat, who are the Astro toilets. The X-Wing Astro toilet falls to the ground, and he instantly gets lasered by the Skibidi fleet and killed. But suddenly, another large Astro toilet appears, and he says how dare you resist while he begins to attack the Skibidi toilets, which ends them all. This is when the POV cameraman begins to run away, but catches all the action as he is going along, seeing a mouth laser stride a toilet along the way, and as he runs, we hear that Astro toilets say, "Traitor scum." They really do view the Skibidi toilets as the lowest of lowest, mere insects. They hate them that much that they think they're absolutely worth nothing. The POV gets to the end of the area, and that's when a Skibidi toilet appears, but the POV holds his rockets up. If you notice, the Skibidi toilet has a resemblance to the guy in the war meme image that a lot of people across Discord happen to use. It seems Dafuq sure does love to use meme references, and we're here for it. Suddenly, before anything else can happen, we hear a firing of guns, and the Skibidi in front of us has been rammed on and killed off. An Astro toilet comes into view, which makes the POV cameraman use his rockets, but the Astro toilet has put up protection on himself, nullifying the attack in the process. The Astro toilet begins to charge up, ready to attack the POV, but a sudden laser blast from out of nowhere hits him, and then a car or truck of some sorts comes into view, crushing the Astro toilet. The POV looks up to see a Skibidi toilet, who laughs about the crushed Astro toilet, but the POV cameraman holds his guns up to the toilet as the cameraman next to him hits him with a stun gun blast, confusing the toilet and the cameraman with him, who looks annoyed that it has just happened. The interesting thing about this cameraman is the color of his shirt. We know this can't be Lucky Cameraman since he is currently detained by Detective Cameraman, so perhaps this is another new agent in the force. We also see that another cameraman is with this Skibidi toilets, so at least a mini group of reinforced cameramen are with this old man Skibidi truck patrolling the area. The Skibidi toilet makes a menacing sound and boosts off into the distance. The POV cameraman looks to the cameraman to the right of him, who just shrugs over the scene, showing that they're confused on why some Alliance members and toilets are teaming up. These guys are probably not caught up on the Astro invasion situation, and they don't really know what is going on exactly. We then hear the all-familiar sound of the Skibidi toilets to the lefty. The POV cameraman turns around to see multiple Skibidi toilets running away, along with Alliance members and a cameraman in a wheelchair too, who might just be one of the cameramen in the secret scene of episode 70, but honestly there is no way to know, and we soon see why they're all running away when an Astro toilet comes into sight, attacking everything. But before 8 continue, did you see that? Yes, the chair is back, and though it looks like a different chair compared to the one from the previous episode, they do have the same function, because as we turn left, this chair does move, and so does another object on the right that looks like an upside-down lamppost, and we also see a plant later on. So who knows, these might be shape-shifting spies who work for the secret agent, letting him know of the current situation of the toilets and the Alliance teaming up. The POV cameraman begins to attack the Astro toilet, who does the same back, but the POV cameraman dodges and throws his empty rockets away as he goes over to the Astro, where he rips his headwear off and begins to punch the Astro, where the POV stabs it in the head. Also, I want to point something out about either side of the head of the Astro toilet itself. There are known symbols on both sides, which happen to be pagan symbols. The first one we see is the solar cross, which is associated with the sun and is the symbol of fire. The second symbol is on the side of the Astro head, where the POV stabs him. This symbol represents Earth, and as we know, Earth is the ultimate element and considered the Great Womb, which makes it the symbol of fertility, and in tarot readings is symbolic to that of the Pentacles. One can only assume that the Astro race could be pagans, which is quite interesting, or maybe even Dafuq or the secret agent himself is a pagan, but who knows? It's a thought that is always going to be there, so it's one that will really make you think. I do think that these are mainly to enforce that they're indeed from outer space, even though some of them look more human and some of them look more animalistic. In comparison, they likely come from the same planet, and these symbols are there to show that. Or maybe it's a symbol that unites the Astro race in some way. And since G-Man doesn't have any symbols like that, maybe that was his way of cutting ties with the Astro race. The POV cameraman rips off the weapon which the Astro toilet had and turns around to face the Astro. But the Astro suddenly backs off from afar, and before the POV cameraman can use the gun, the Astro charges at the large POV cameraman like the glitch toilet, getting him to the ground where he charges up and tells him time to die. This is crazy. It seems like all Astros can survive getting stabbed in the head, even the smaller ones. We saw the Detainer survive in episode 72. We saw G-Man survive getting stabbed by Titan Speakerman in episode 73, because he used to be an Astro, so he still has their level of durability, and now we saw it here. We clearly see that their durability is that much greater than both the normal Skibidi toilets and the Alliance members. Suddenly, a red laser can be seen hitting the Astro toilet, killing him off, and he does realize this, but he can't react fast enough, maybe because of the damage he took, so he dies on the spot. The POV cameraman turns to see another cameraman that looks like the representation of a mini Titan cameraman, who we saw in one of the leaks from recently. This laser-large cameraman was actually seen in episode 70 as the POV cameraman in part 1 of that episode, and he helped in the battle against the scientist toilet in episode 70 part 3. He did get injured in that episode, but it seems like now he is upgraded, and his lens got upgraded, and he got a new shield. His gun definitely seems much stronger too. Like Camera Woman and Titan Cameraman, this guy is probably also avenging Plunger Cameraman, and he's probably going to be like him going forwards. The laser-large cameraman helps us up, and they both stare at each other briefly. Suddenly, the laser-large cameraman looks behind him and charges up his gun and begins to attack the Astros coming out to try and attack them. A sudden number of Astro toilets then appear, and that's when the laser-large cameraman puts up a portable shield where one of the Astros sends an attack, but they're both safe. The POV cameraman looks up to see an Astro toilet send an attack out, but the laser-large cameraman shoots at it, and the POV large cameraman manages to hit the Astro with a shot from his recently found weapon that he got from the previous Astro toilet and kills him off in the process. Across the way, the Astro toilets move out of the way, and we see a new Astro Strider mech show up to kill them. He sends out a huge blast, which one-shots the shield around both of the large cameramen. Just before another attack can be made by the Astro Strider mech, we see the Chad that is the Camera Strider come drifting in behind them and begins to take out the Astro Strider mech and the other Astro toilets all out one by one, and then he gets shot by the other Astro toilets to our right, but he jumps and then squashes those guys on impact. The Camera Strider then sends a blast out and hits the Astro Strider mech, which makes a goofy meme sound that screams, "No!" and then he blows up, being killed off for good. The POV cameraman looks up to the top of the Camera Strider and sees it open, and we see none other than the badass mech scientist cameraman, who we last seen in episode 72, who was the POV for the G-Man versus Detainer Astro fight and the entire episode itself. Notice how both the mech scientist cameraman and the Camera Strider came back 4 episodes later, since we knew that the Camera Strider was okay during the secret scene in the full episode of 72, and I think that secret scene was foreshadowing his return, and I'm glad that there was enough time for him to get upgraded. It also looks like the Camera Strider itself is mech scientist cameraman's new mech suit. I wonder if the other 2 races also have Striders that will be operated by the main scientists of their race. Also, I do wonder what could happen in 76 Part 2 though. Hopefully the Camera Strider doesn't get destroyed again, and hopefully the Camera Strider, mech scientist cameraman, the large laser cameraman, the old man Skibidi truck, and the POV large cameraman survive this episode. But could it be that we see the speaker base at last, and we also see G-Man coming to talk to the Alliance to make a pact to fight side by side with them in Part 2? Or is that too soon to see? Only time will tell, but the all-important episode 77 is on the horizon, and we all know this episode is the second to last hype episode from Dafuq, and one he's excited about. But what do you think, friends? Do you have any theories? If you do, write them in the comments. They are always welcome. Also, come join Chasing Skylar's Discord, where you will find myself and plenty of Skibidi leaks and chat to an amazing community. Thank you for watching my video. I was Obsidian. And until next time, my friends,